everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. We're going to get right into the weekly love outlook for Sagittarius for March 8th to the 15th. Now, the weekly love outlooks is certainly an outlook into a connection that you have with someone. So this is not like the monthly general love outlook where it could be for a single person calling in love, right? This is certainly for a connection that Sagittarius has with someone. And it's a mutual connection. So you're thinking about someone and that person also is having feelings towards you. Now, whatever the nature of the relationship is, we're going to look at it because I'm going to pull out cards for your person, Sagittarius, and I'm going to pull out cards for you. Okay, but this is not a reading for a Sagittarius that is perhaps in an estranged relationship that has been in separation for a long time, or where there has been no sign of contact or communication with this person. This is definitely a connection that you have with a person who also has feelings for you, right? And we're going to take a look at it. This is, again, just a little snapshot also for the week. All right. So it's just a snapshot. It's not indicative of the overall state of that relationship or union. Okay. So Sagittarius, let's get ready to cut your cards. And I am a Sagittarius myself. Your weekly reading is up. Your general weekly outlook is up, and that will be linked in the description. So let's get right into it. Before I pull out your cards, though, quickly, just letting you know, if you are a subscriber on my channel and you leave me a comment letting me know you want to be in this month's giveaway, this is the deck that I'm giving away this month, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Deck and Guidebook by Kim Krantz, which is a beautiful animal spirit deck. And in order to be in the running, like I say, you just have to be subscribed. Leave me a comment on one of my videos that you're interested in being in the drawing, and then come back to my channel and check out the winner video on March 31st when I'm going to announce the winner. All right, so straight out Sagittarius, your person is resonating with the moon, and you are resonating with Two of Pentacles. Now, let me just pull the rest of the cards out. Your person sees you as Temperance. Well, that's your card. And you see them as an Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. Three of Swords is how your person sees the relationship and their part in it. And the Magician is how you see yourself. Well, Sagittarius. At the bottom of the deck is a Six of Pentacles. Well, as I say in my other Sagittarius videos, I am a Sagittarius myself. I have 4 planets in Sagittarius with a moon in Leo. I have a Taurus rising. And I love being a Sagittarius, right? I just love it. You know, I love the energy. And so I love doing my readings, certainly for this particular part of my collective, my Sagittarian brothers and sisters. What can I say about this reading? Jeez, Louise, these are some... Can I first say, today I've been working on the fire elemental reading. So Aries is up and Leo is up. Two of Pentacles have shown up for all 3 fire readings for this week's weekly love outlook. It was in the Aries reading, and it was also in the Sagittarius reading. And you are coming out in your own reading with Temperance energy. The moon, of course, is the card for Pisces. And it doesn't really necessarily mean anything that much deeper, you know, that your card is shown up, but it is always excellent, certainly when in this case your person sees you as Temperance, and Temperance is a card for Sagittarius. And I'm going to get right into what that all means for this reading, but let's start right off. I'm going to come back to the Six of Pentacles. Moon is how your person is resonating, and you are resonating with Two of Pentacles this week, right? So as I have seen with all of the fire signs for the love outlook for March 8th to the 15th, every single outlook has had some impact or aspect of finances. And this Two of Pentacles chaos and flux and change that is happening, impacting the relationship. Your person is resonating with the moon. So they are very much in a kind of like, They're kind of in a place where things are very much unknown for them. They're really not sure what the next step is. They're being called on to really sort of uh, draw on the strength that they have already accumulated and confidence that they have accumulated to be able to go through this next period or this period of time right now where things are hidden, things are sort of uh, they have no idea how things are going to turn out. This is another reason why the moon can be a testing phase for some people, can feel like a test. And it's a very emotional time, certainly. This is definitely a time when emotions can indeed run high, right? But more than anything, the moon just seems to be a really kind of ambiguous, unsure, right, feeling that comes in. But you're not sure what you're feeling, but you are sure you're feeling something, all right? So it's not like a lack of feeling. Of course, the moon being the card for Pisces, we're talking about a deep, immense amount of emotionality and water energy. But there's a vagueness there. There's a vagueness in the sense of not really knowing what it all means for you. And you, Sagittarius, are resonating with Two of Pentacles. And you, as I say, are going through really a lot of ups and downs. You just right now are going through it financially. You could be in a career or a business, Sagittarius, that one week is up, the next week is down. It's very fluid. It's changing all the time. And you feel like you're constantly juggling. You feel like you're really having to work to keep all your balls up in the air. And it can be really, I think lately it's probably taken quite an emotional toll on you. And certainly in a relationship, when you're dealing with such a strong kind of, chaotic energy, like the Two of Pentacles, it can be very difficult to see past that because it's hard to look at a relationship while you're juggling, right? And the figure here is literally juggling a bunch of responsibilities, right? And areas of working, trying to make money, trying to survive, trying to carry on a business, etc. All in that area of material. He's actually literally juggling everything to keep everything going. So it can be very difficult to actually pay attention to the relationship. Now let's see how you are resonating for each other, right? How do you see each other? Well, as I said, your person sees you as Temperance energy. You see them as an Ace of Pentacles. Well, Temperance is your card. And Temperance is, it's the ability to know yourself so well that you have complete dominion over yourself. Just remember, the Temperance is the 14. The first 4 is the Emperor. And I always say, to compare it, the Emperor is the king among men and women. As a saying, I'm not trying to be sort of, gender specific, but the king is the leader among men and the authority among men, right? He's the ruler of men. Temperance energy, when we resonate up to the second 4, which is 14, Temperance energy is when we are the ruler of ourselves, when we have absolute dominion of ourselves and of our own actions and of our own reactions. And what I mean to say by having complete dominion is that, you know yourself so well, and you know exactly, what each situation calls for with regard to the way you want to project yourself, right? The way you want to either behave, project yourself, talk, or act, right? The way you conduct yourself in any situation. You know it very well, and there is no outside influence that can disturb that, right? So whatever happens around you, or whatever people are doing around you, or whatever energies you're dealing with, you're not going to react to them. You can't react to them because you have control over yourself. You're always going to know, and I'm not saying that you're always going to know ahead of time exactly what decisions you're going to make. But what I mean to say is that you are always going to be very much in control of how you respond in any given situation. And that's what Temperance is all about. right? The ability to measure your response in any given situation solely on how you want to project yourself and not as a reaction to what somebody else has done. And so your person is seeing this about you. You may be very cool and calm, collected around them lately, despite the fact that you're resonating with Two of Pentacles, which is a lot of sort of chaos. You're being very measured, very cool, very calm and collected. Certainly with regard to a love connection, you're definitely not allowing anyone to sort of make you react in any way. You resonate with Ace of Pentacles. And so, you are seeing your person resonating as Ace of Pentacles. They are seeing you as Temperance. You're seeing them as Ace of Pentacles. And this is quite interesting because this is in all of the fire readings for this coming week. And do cross watchers, please do check out the other readings. You'll see what I mean for Aries and Leo. There has been an aspect of seeing your other partner, either the partner or the fire sign itself, seeing the other person as a source of financial stability or an opportunity for financial abundance or something like that has all come into all three of the readings for the week. And it's like an overarching kind of theme here. And for you to see your person as an Ace of Pentacles, you see them as someone who, I'm going to say, probably has a lot going on. I'm not necessarily sure that you see them as someone who makes the most out of any given situation. But I think that right now you are seeing them as an Ace of Pentacles in the sense that you see that they are getting a really awesome opportunity coming in for them, right? And they are all about it, right? So they're busy with this opportunity. Certainly it's going to be a career move or a business move. It could be a reason why your person is resonating with the moon also, because being very unsure of what to do next and kind of just, figuring it out as they go along. But you certainly, if you see somebody resonating as an Ace of Pentacles, it can indicate that you see that their whole sort of life and their whole outlook right now is engrossed in this new sort of business, career, financial avenue that they've taken up, right? And it's all consuming, right? It's all consuming. It's who they are right now, and that can also be, for example, like a business, right? If you are in a relationship with somebody who just opened up a business, what it's, and I know a lot of you are seeing this reading may indeed resonate with that. A lot of people have businesses out there nowadays, right? Small businesses, medium-sized, large businesses. But if someone is, has just opened up a new business, which an Ace of Pentacles would indicate, right? They're going to be consumed by it. Their whole life is going to be about the business. They're going to talk about the business. They're going to work on the business. Certainly someone who is on track to be successful, right? Okay, so a lot of people open up businesses and they half-step it. They don't even, they don't make it their focus, right? But that's a different scenario. You are seeing that they're making it, their focus because this is what you see when you see your person. You see only this new golden opportunity that's come into their life. I'm going to get clarity and see how that really sort of impacts how the love here. But it's interesting. We have no cup cards here at all for your reading, Sagittarius. And this is a love outlook. So this is certainly meant to be an outlook into a connection where there is love. And I'm not just talking about like a friendship connection. I'm talking about a romantic love. But we're going to get deeper into it. Your person sees the relationship as a Three of Swords. So they're hurt. They're very, very hurt. And you see yourself as the Magician. And this is really interesting because they are hurt about the relationship, right? This example of, for instance, being in a relationship and it just doesn't work out, right? And what has happened is that it wasn't like you guys actually did anything particularly horrible to each other, or that you did anything particularly horrible to them, like intentionally, right? It wasn't like you necessarily abused them or you cheated on them or anything like that. The relationship itself just did not work out. it wasn't for you, and or they weren't for you, or something like that, right? It's just you guys, the mentality maybe, or the psyche, the ego, the characteristic of you two, it just didn't mesh. Maybe it started off very good, right? But it didn't really kind of work out the way they expected it to. And then so they see the relationship as having hurt them, like almost somebody, Sagittarius, who like falls in love with you, and they're so committed to you, and they're sure about having this relationship with you. And it's like, oh, they're looking to the future, they're looking years ahead, and they feel really great. And then when it falls apart, they almost hate the fact that they were ever in a relationship with you. Do you see what I mean? And in this way, just being with you and the fact that it didn't work out is a sense of betrayal for them. And this is the case here when we're talking about this Three of Swords, when they are resonating with this energy here. You're resonating with the Magician. You see the relationship as Magician energy. You see your part in the relationship as Magician energy, right? Again, seeing this relationship as for your person as Three of Swords and their part in it, right? This card is for the relationship and I want to say tangentially their part in it. Yes, they're the victim, they're hurt, but they feel like they've been hurt by the relationship. You, however, resonating with that Magician energy as far as the relationship is concerned and your part in it, it's almost as if by being with this person, you have come into your own. Right, Sagittarius? It feels like by having been in this relationship, you've come out of the relationship like even stronger, even more sort of capable, with more sort of abilities under your belt. You know what I mean? It's like that's the Magician. The Magician is able to manifest because he knows his talents, he knows his skills, he knows his tools, right? And he knows how to put them all together exactly in the right way to achieve what he wants to achieve. So it's interesting that this relationship would be so like it's such a dichotomy here, because your person is hurt, feels betrayed. And when I say feels betrayed, it almost feels to me like your person was like, why did I even get involved with Sagittarius in the first place? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that that is right. I feel like that it's quite a toxic energy. It's almost like an Eight of Swords energy, because your person is really, to a certain degree, not necessarily taking responsibility for the relationship. And again, normally Three of Swords is something that is done to you by someone who betrays you, who breaks the bond, who breaks the trust, or who breaks the loyalty. But here with somebody who simply believes that because the relationship didn't work out, and only for that reason, that they have somehow been betrayed. Do you know what I mean? Or somehow have been duped or stabbed in the back in some way. And if you understand where I'm coming from with that, that is a little bit of like very, I want to say, so that's quite dysfunctional, narcissistic energy, right? Because it's not like they're taking into consideration that, by the way, it didn't work out for you either. You neither of you were really good for each other, right? And this may have even been a mutual split. Now, interestingly enough, I did say this reading is for a connection that is not like sort of on the long-term outs or anything like that, and that it is about a Sagittarius who's thinking about someone, and that person is thinking about you. And this feels to me strongly like a situation where this is a connection, and you may still be with this person, Sagittarius, but you may have also recently broken up with this person, maybe in the last few weeks or months even. But there's still a connection there. There's still a connection there. You still think about them, they still think about you, right? Six of Pentacles can indicate a feeling of generosity and charity. So it can be, it can be also that one person may have felt like they were having to provide too much charity for the other, having to sort of look out for the other, It's weird. It's weird to me, really, Sagittarius, because despite the fact that your person feels very betrayed and hurt by the relationship or by the state of the relationship, Okay. So now let me take it back a little bit. It could very well be that just simply the state of the relationship, because the relationship is not where they want it to be, they're hurt by it, right? It could be that you guys have gone into full-blown separation from each other, but also, again, this could certainly be for Sagittarius who's with somebody, and that person is generally sort of dissatisfied and hurt by the nature of the relationship. But it's interesting still that they would see you as so calm and collected with this temperance energy here. I think part of what hurts them is that whatever state this relationship is in, and even if it is perhaps in crisis or challenge, I think it also hurts your person a little bit, Sagittarius, that you are so cool about it, that you're so calm about it, that you're not reacting, right? And I mean, having temperance doesn't mean you don't care, but it can kind of come across that way to the outside world, that, because they can't make you react. A lot of times people measure how much you love them or how much you care for them by how much they can make you react sometimes, or how much they can push your buttons. And that, again, is a very toxic way of looking at things. Why would you want to push somebody's buttons or upset somebody or make somebody react in order to measure their love for you, right? Surely you would rather want to be with someone who is emotionally and mentally strong enough not to succumb to those sort of tactics. But nevertheless, it's still interesting that your person would see you with this energy and yet they feel so hurt. You, however, are like absolutely busy, Sagittarius, with your work. The right now, the upheaval that you're going through, the financial ups and downs that you're going through, it's a very chaotic time for you right now. The only other thing in terms of your other person, again, an opportunity, right? Ace of Pentacles. You see your person resonating with Ace of Pentacles. That's how you see them. Now, for some of you Sagittarius, you may be feeling indeed like, being in this relationship with this person is an opportunity for you to have financial stability, right? And gain and abundance coming in with that Ace of Pentacles there. But, I don't feel that it is like you're trying to necessarily use them or be like a gold digger or something, because you also have Six of Pentacles here. It could very well be that your person has offered, right? They may have been offering to help you through this period, right? And so you see them resonating with that Ace of Pentacles in a sense that, through their support and through what they have going on financially. They may be somebody who's very well off in terms of money and status anyway, right? They may already have a very well-paying career or job, or they may have already a good business, right? That's already up and running. So they may already have within their own right this nice level of stability and financial abundance. Certainly with Six of Pentacles, we see stability, financial abundance, somebody who's willing to invest and support others. But when you see them resonating as, you see them as an Ace of Pentacles, I think in your mind, this person is like got the Midas touch in a lot of ways. They can do no wrong, right? It's like, whatever they lay their hands on turns into gold, right? And so you could very well be dealing with somebody who has a talent in that area. You may be looking for them to help you in that area. But again, this is another love reading with no actual cups in it. I think Aries may have been the only one that actually had any cup cards in the reading. I don't think Leo had any cup cards in the reading either. And here, it's not like there's a whole lot of love. This feels very much as like, not a relationship of convenience, but certainly a relationship with somebody that has kind of sort of deteriorated into a benefit. Like, what is the benefit? What is the material benefit to my life in being in this relationship? Right. And I think that is, it's understandable, Sagittarius, if you are already going through so much turmoil over here. It's almost like that. Sometimes you ever hear somebody say, I can do bad by myself. You know what I mean? Or, when you're in a relationship with somebody and you are already kind of really up and down and struggling financially and all of that, unless they have some way of helping you with that or taking that burden off your shoulder, you taking any energy away from that to put into them is costly, right? So now you find there's Three of Swords coming out over Three of Swords. Damn. So, whenever any one person in a relationship is really struggling financially, right? And you guys are not sharing Five of Wands, Four of Wands, damn. And you guys are not sharing that burden, like let's say in a marriage or something. This definitely doesn't feel like a marriage to me. So if one person in a relationship, right, is really struggling financially a lot, if the other person in a relationship is going to have to step up and help them to a certain degree, because otherwise they simply can't afford to take time out from working on this to spend quality time with you. And so this particular Sagittarius doesn't have the time or the energy with this Two of Pentacles to say, okay, well, let me put all of this chaos on hold and go out and have, this nice dinner or whatever with you and give you your loving. Like that all costs. This Sagittarius here is so busy that every bit of their time costs something, right? And it is impacting their livelihood, their financial stability. So of course they are seeing you as the Ace of Pentacles in the sense that certainly if you have money, if you're the person in your life, Sagittarius, has some extra disposable income or just is at a higher level of abundance, of course you are looking to them to help you or to provide, I want to say, the support, right, for increase in abundance and everything like that, which would be associated with the Ace of Pentacles. Because otherwise, how are you two going to hang out together? You don't have any time, you don't have the money for it. You have to concentrate on this and getting stabilized. And they also in turn can't be selfish about that and be like, well, I'm not saying that this person is, but this just explains why right now it's all about, sort of like, if you want to be in my life, how can you help me? Otherwise you can wait until this is all evened out and until I've got all my ducks sort of in a row and the finances have stabilized a little bit. If you want to wait until then for me to be able to have the energy and time to give you quality time, then that's great. But if you want my time now, then you're going to have to help me with all these other areas. Princess of Pentacles and Three of Swords is how your person comes in. Well, there you go. I'm going to say in each and every of the fire sign readings, we've had at least one or two of the cards clarified. And here we have Princess of Pentacles, Three of Swords clarified. So there you go. Princess of Pentacles certainly talks about somebody who is, they realize what it takes, right? They're being very, very practical. Princesses are the same as pages, all right, Sagittarius. So here we basically see Princess or Page of Pentacles and Three of Swords. So your person is being extremely sort of practical right now, right? They're being sort of really sort of day to day with their business affairs or their career. And I think that this is certainly the case if you're seeing them as an Ace of Pentacles. This is someone who has a job, has financial abundance, and has certain sort of responsibilities to that they take care of on a day-to-day basis, right? Page of Pentacles is very handy, very practical, has very specific tasks that he needs to get done, right? It's earth energy, so it's really sort of crossing the T's and dotting the I's is that Page of Pentacles energy. And that would necessarily be for somebody who is a hard worker, who does have a certain level of financial security. There's your Three of Swords again coming in. Very dark card. You can even see in comparison to the other cards on the deck, it's like on the when I say on the deck, I mean on the deck, on the table. Three of Swords is quite dark, right? And it's a real feeling of hurt again. Here we go. They almost feel like they're mourning. They almost feel like they're going to a funeral there. And a lot of times it does feel like that. It's that kind of death in a lot of ways, death to something death to trust, death to trust, loyalty, and bonding. The sword and the rose, those two symbols combined are, when they are combined, they symbolize as a whole solidarity, right? And so in the Three of Swords with this deck, we can see the sword and the rose really speaking to that archetype, that, solidarity, trust, bonding, and the breaking of that. Your person absolutely feels that way. Now, you are resonating with Five of Wands and Four of Wands. So you have all Wands energy here, all fire energy, Sagittarius. Already you've shown up in your reading with your card, but all fire energy. Five of Wands and Four of Wands. Well, Five of Wands is a highly competitive battle, power struggle that you're having with somebody else. And you have a Four of Wands, right? Which is a desire for a really harmonious and stable connection with somebody. Right? Four of Wands is the 1111 card. And it's seeing beauty in all things also. It's having beauty in your relationships and mutual respect and love. It's stability. Here you see the dancer. You see how strong she is, right? It's beautiful, though. She's graceful. She's beautiful. But she has to be very strong and focused to maintain that. So we're talking about also clarity here. It's interesting because you desire a strong connection with someone, Sagittarius. You do desire that. I don't know if this is the one. All right, we're going to get into pulling out your romance angel messages for the week and wrap this reading up, Sagittarius. We have playfulness. Wow, interesting. And we have finances and career. So there you go. All right. Playfulness, finances, and career. So I think that this really talks a lot about your attitude towards this. And the angels are telling you, yes, that right now finances and career is something that's really impacting you. Certainly impacting your ability to really put energy into a relationship. And I will say this, right? Because this Three of Swords is not really necessarily, and this is my feeling intuitively here with this particular scenario and reading of the position and the cards, that it isn't necessarily something that you have done to them, or it wasn't necessarily a bad event, like I said earlier, between the two of you, like an event of cheating or some kind of abusive event. It's more to do with how they're taking the fact that the relationship may be on the outs right now, maybe in separation. Or I do apologize for the siren. Hang on. So I will say this, with playfulness coming out, and again, earlier, as I've said, they are very unsure right now. They're unsure of what to think, right? You are, of course, coming across very cool. You're not reacting. And this person may, again, be one of these, like I said, one of these type of people that really can't read your feelings unless you react, right? And if you're not reacting to anything, if you're keeping a lot to yourself and remaining so temperate, again, it's like the hurt is very much on your person's side, in the sense that, they may be feeling that you really don't care about them, or that the feelings are mixed emotions here, right? That they're not unsure, that they have feelings, but they're not really sure what their feelings are. And they're just not sure what your feelings are, but they know that they don't like the fact that the relationship is in crisis, because the pain is there for that. Right? Or that the relationship is maybe in separation, or that perhaps you have told them, you may have told them that you're going to take a break, or you may have told them that you guys may have sort of the relationship just kind of fizzled out. You guys just decided not to be with each other. And because, or you simply, or again, also could be also Sagittarius knowing you, that you just have said, look, I'm going to pull my energy back because I'm also so busy over here. Not to mention this Five of Wands, which does indicate that at times when you were with them, there probably was a lot of bickering and arguing, which you're not going for anyway, right? And the point that I'm getting to is that if you want to continue this relationship or work on this relationship, right, you may have to employ some playfulness and get it out of the seriousness, right? Because I feel like your person got too serious or got very, very serious very, very quickly. And then when things didn't go their way, got very, very hurt very, very quickly. And I think also, again, right now, you are just so busy. This reading is certainly for Sagittarius that is so busy, right? With, I'm going to say, so busy with manifesting your career and trying to stabilize your finances that you simply don't have that much serious energy to put in right now. Finances and career are there, right? And so I guess what I'm getting at is that I don't want to give the impression that this relationship is over and falling apart and it just didn't work out, but and that there's no hope for reconciliation. But what I will say is, if it is something that you want to revisit, Sagittarius, if this is a relationship that does indeed, that is indeed important to you, despite the arguing and the bickering here, right? Because this Five of Wands, it's arguing, it's bickering, it's competitive, but it isn't the worst energy in the world. And a lot of relationships go through that. So what I'm saying is that if you realize later on, or if you're realizing this week, certainly that part of the reason why you've pulled away is not anything to do with them at all, and is everything to do with all of this work that you're having to deal with, right? This inability to put the right energy in and to really like express your feelings because you're paying so much attention to your career and your business here and stabilizing your career, then you can always employ playfulness. And I think this is why the romance angel messages have the angels have given you this as a message, right? Because to recapture the romance and to maybe get some excitement back into this union, you may indeed have to be playful and take some time off for yourself, Sagittarius, to have a playful sort of, I want to say, interaction with this individual, right? Because remember, at the end of the day, the betrayal and the hurt and the pain that they're feeling about this relationship isn't really not working out very well is because they wanted the relationship, right? And they probably felt very, very strongly for you, Sagittarius. This certainly feels like the type of relationship that didn't ever develop into like strong long-term commitment, right? You didn't move in together or anything like that. It definitely feels like the type of relationship that came together and then, you know what I mean? Before you guys were completely entwined, it was like you guys went apart. So it isn't like there isn't any hope at all, right? And it may just be that it's time to pull back all of that seriousness and get playful. In any case, until you, Sagittarius, are done dealing with all of this financial turmoil here, and really gotten that settled, like I said earlier, I don't know how much energy you'll be able to give to this individual. And this individual requires a lot of attention and energy, I think, for them to remain confident in a union with you, right? And you can be really standoffish, Sagittarius. You know, that's temperance energy. No wonder they're resonating with the moon. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your reading. I spent a little extra time at the end there because I didn't want to give you the impression that this connection was dead and done and dusted, right? You know, it just, as I said, all of the things in the last few minutes. But I'm going to be signing off. Please do not forget, for those of you, let me grab my box, that if you are interested in being in the drawing for the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Deck and Guidebook by Kim Krantz, please do let me know in a comment. Make sure that you are subscribed on my channel, and that that you let me know in a comment that you're interested in the deck. If you like this reading, please like, subscribe, and share the video on your social media. All of that really helps my channel to grow and for me to continue to get subscribers and people interested in watching my videos. And all of that really helps me to remain here and to grow on this channel, right? If you want to get a private reading, you know, if you want to take a look into any kind of relationship issue just for you, Sagittarius, I do 30-minute live readings where we get to interact and talk. I call you via Skype while you're watching the reading live, and those are really good. I usually end up running over 30 minutes on those, depending on the nature of the reading. And then I also do a 10-minute recorded tarot answer service for those of you who might be on the fence about going full in for a live reading, but you do want to get some clarity or some insight on a particular scenario, and then that is just a 10-minute recorded tarot reading, which you receive via private live stream link. So you get a link to that tarot reading. It's not a live stream, excuse me. You get a link to the recorded video tarot reading answering your question. And that's a private link. All right, guys. That's it. Have a wonderful week, and I shall see you next week for your weekly love outlook. Bye-bye, Sagittarius.